Hi guys, welcome to the Honest Perfume Reviewer. Today's video is going to be about Musc Shamal from Armani Privé, but I thought I would also share my thoughts with you about this house or this line of fragrances in general, kind of what I think about the quality, the performance, the fragrances, and the price point of this line. But first of all, okay, this is a nice fragrance. I just picked it up a couple weeks ago at this perfume kind of swap meeting we had at my house. There were like 15 people, and we were just kind of like little kids, like playing with our toys on the floor. It was so much fun. And there's 10 milliliters left. I just thought it would be nice to try. You know, this is an expensive fragrance. Get a chance to try it without having to buy full bottle. And I'll tell you, it's very nice. It's a nice fragrance. It's a nice basic fragrance. Nobody would think this was terrible. I think the name is a little misleading. I think this is a rose fragrance more than, I mean, it has a little bit of a musky kind of woody base with vanilla. And there's some citruses in the top. It's a little aldehydic. There's jasmine. There's like nothing that sticks out. It's kind of all about notes that are typically used in so many perfumes. And I think maybe it's a little on the designery side, perhaps. I mean, not in a bad way. It just, for me, I think it has to do with, though, that the performance is not great on my skin. Like, it's really nice when you first spray it on. I love the opening. It's really rosy and woody and musky, and it has a little, you can smell that jasmine and citruses coming through. But it's after like a half hour, it's like a skin scent. I have to like go to my arm to be able to, experience it. And I think for this price, that these are at, I think they're like, and they're all kind of different prices, but I'm guessing now that this is $250, maybe for 100 ml. This is a 100 ml bottle. I'm expecting more when it comes to like performance. So I'm going to be giving that to somebody else that will enjoy it more. I also think that the two new fragrances that just came out, Magenta Tanzanite and Indigo Tanzanite, they're beautiful bottles, and I know many people that have like bought the couple together because they're kind of like salt and pepper. They go together. People seem to want both of them. One is a little bit more patchouli leaning, and the other one is more of a true gourmand with notes of like coffee and cardamom, that kind of notes, a little bit like caramelly, vanillic, really, really beautiful. Actually, I think they both smell really, really good. The performance, though, was bad on my skin, especially one of them, and I can't remember now which one it was. I think it was Magenta Tanzanite. And if you like that particular one, there are several others that are really similar that have good performance. So if you like it, if you like the fragrance, I think you should try Remember Me from Jovoy, or Starlight from Xerjoff. That one's not either cheap, I have to add, though. I think Remember Me is not cheap either, but at least it's cheaper than Magenta. And also Changing Constance from Penhaligon's, which I'm not 100% familiar with, but I've heard other people say it, so it might be worth looking into. And also Demi Rawlings fragrance, Minuit, Demi or something it's called. I haven't tried that. I mean, I have sniffed it before, but I haven't given it like a full wearing, so I couldn't say. And also, that's really pricey as well. And I don't know about the performance. But I know that Remember Me, I have a decant of it. I know that performs really well. For me, it's a little bit too sweet. So I'm not going to go full bottle of that. But if you're into that kind of thing, I think you should check these alternatives before going to Armani Privé, unless you just have to have the bottles on your dresser because they do look great. Then there's this other phenomenon that I think is really interesting. I was totally blown away by Rouge Malachite, that comes in a red bottle. It's kind of like a tuberose, tropical, like a super tropical flower kind of fragrance. And I loved it from the beginning. I got a decant and I went through it like that. I got another decant, and then like halfway through, I just could not wear it anymore. It was all of a sudden cloying, headache inducing, too much, over the top. I just felt like I got to scrub, got to get this off of my skin. And I think this is really strange how I could like it like for a whole decant and want another decant, and then I can't wear it. Have you experienced this? I want to hear what you have to say about this. Has happened to me before with other fragrances as well. Can't remember one from the top of my head, but it has happened. And I think it's really sad when it happens, but I'm so glad I didn't go full bottle. And then there's another malachite. It's a green one. It's called Vert Malachite. That one is also kind of really strong and potent lily fragrance, kind of like a creamy lily. That reminds me a little of Rouge Malachite. It's kind of the same, but it's not like this tropical kind of Hawaiian kind of flower fragrance. It's more about lily. And then there's the Bleu Lazuli. I've had 2 decants of that. That's really nice. That's like a tobacco honey fragrance, but the tobacco is really soft. And I think the fragrance is very unisex. I think it's way better than Naxos. Naxos is too potent and too masculine, I think, for my taste. So you might want to check that one out. I have a little decant of Rose d'Arabi, but it has lasted me 2.5 years. It's a very kind of difficult to wear Oriental rose and oud fragrance with patchouli. I used to love it, but I have oud satin mood too, and I think that was so much better that I don't need Rouge Malachite. No, sorry, Rose d'Arabi. But it's a great fragrance, but I only need super, super little. I would never buy a full bottle for something, I'll wear it once every 4 months. It's just not worth it to me. I also used to own Sable Nuit that comes in the same bottle, and so does Rose d'Arabi, same bottle. Sable Nuit is kind of an incensey fragrance, and I just never wore it. I liked it. I think it's beautiful. I stood sniffing the top sometimes at night, and then I would always pick something else to wear. So I actually did a swap with that one. Then I have decants of this Orangerie Venise that has a nice kind of different orange notes together with like a minty note I think it's called like Busha or something like that. The performance is terrible, but I'm going to try it again in the high heat and see if it works better. I've also had the one with the Japanese leaning name. It's with peony. It's called like Pivoine Shishashu or something like that. Terrible, terrible performance. I sprayed it on, it was gone, like in a matter of like seconds. So that performance was really bad. Let's see what else. The Iris Celadon I've tried. It's pretty nice, but I think there are better. I've had a bottle of Cypress Pantelleria, but I never paid retail price for it. I've never paid retail price, actually, for anything from Armani Privé, and I don't think I will. If I will, it will probably be... Actually, I'm not sure if I will at all. Those new Magenta Tanzanite and Indigo Tanzanite are like $300 for 100 ml. So not worth it. And I know everyone's kind of hyping these fragrances, and they are beautiful. I'll have to say they are. And especially I think they like blow you away with the opening. But when they dry down, they're kind of like, first of all, they dry down pretty quick, and then they're kind of a generic vanilla. And they're just not that exciting, and I think maybe the magenta a little bit too sweet. So this line, I don't know, I think it's overpriced. I think that if you're interested in any of those fragrances, I would go to Fragrantica. Look what else, it's similar to. Check those out instead and, do a side-by-side. At least start with a decant before you go full bottle. I love the bottles. They're really pretty, except that I really don't think the covered bottle is so practical. I like to see the juice, to be honest, but... all lined up. They're really pretty. Anyway, so I would say if you're on a sort of a perfume budget, don't look at Armani Privé at all. I think that you can find better out there. But Musc Shamal is very nice. It's a very easy reach. It's a people pleaser. I think most people would like it. That's all for today, guys.